In today's video, I take an in-depth look at a growing phenomenon: prominent media personalities voicing their frustration with the Labour government, marking a shift from the traditionally close ties many perceive between political leaders and mainstream media. For years, the public has operated under the assumption that the government holds significant influence over broadcast and news agendas, subtly shaping the tone and narrative of coverage. However, recent on-air moments suggest that more media figures are willing to openly question and critique the Labour Party, signalling a potential change in the dynamic between the media and government. A particularly striking example unfolded live on Sky News, where one of the network's well-known hosts launched into an unexpectedly scathing critique of Keir Starmer and his leadership. The host's frustration was palpable, delivering a series of pointed remarks that underscored deeper issues with Labour's current approach and resonated with viewers who may share similar concerns. This rare, unfiltered outburst caught many off guard, illustrating how tensions are bubbling up in unexpected places and potentially indicating a wider trend of dissent among media professionals who feel increasingly disconnected from Labour's policies and direction. In today's video, I'll break down the key moments from this fiery broadcast, discuss the potential ramifications for Labour's relationship with the media, and consider what this could mean for political discourse moving forward. Additionally, I'll cover other major headlines from across the country, ensuring you're informed on all the latest national developments.
Budget in terms of tax and spend is £74 billion in spending by the end of this Parliament, £41 billion in tax rises. I have done a number of budgets, and this scorecard, in terms, I have never seen anything like it, and I've done this for 15 years. It's the biggest budget I have ever covered. It is incredibly definitive in terms of a kind of very Labour budget of big tax and big spend. But I think the issue here is, while Rachel Reeves talked there about choices, Rishi Sunak gave the counter-argument, which I think will now be chewed over ferociously, actually, which is this was not laid out in the manifesto. This is not what the Labour government implied. When I asked the Prime Minister at our leaders' debate in Grimsby, are there any tax rises beyond this? He said there are no plans to raise taxes, and now look where they are.
The Labour government's recent budget has faced intense scrutiny as reports reveal plans for an additional £74 billion in public spending and £41 billion in tax hikes by the end of the current parliamentary term. According to the host on Sky News, this budget represents the largest package they have covered in more than 15 years, standing as a clear example of high-tax, high-spend governance. This approach is stirring public debate, especially as it appears to conflict with Labour's initial manifesto promises, which emphasised a balance between growth and affordability for taxpayers. Adding to the tension, the host highlighted previous statements from Labour leaders, including Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who had assured the public that tax increases were not part of their agenda. This notable shift has led many to question the Labour Party's transparency and consistency, raising doubts about their commitment to the promises made to voters. As the public digests these developments, the government's ability to maintain credibility and trust appears increasingly strained, underscoring the challenges it faces in aligning fiscal policies with its stated principles. In a recent broadcast interview, Labour's Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves faced tough questions regarding a reported £22 billion shortfall in Labour's budgetary projections. Pressed on this substantial fiscal gap, Reeves acknowledged that Labour's manifesto includes plans for an additional £8.5 billion in spending, leaving significant room for financial concerns. The host also confronted Reeves on Labour's apparent reluctance to disclose the full scope of necessary funding before the general election, especially with respect to resolving public sector pay disputes. Reeves defended Labour's approach by criticising the previous government for failing to establish clear financial criteria for pay review bodies, notably within sectors such as defence and education, which she argued had exacerbated spending challenges. The intense questioning marks a shift in media accountability, with news outlets typically considered neutral or even sympathetic toward Labour, demanding clearer financial strategies and transparency from the party's leadership. This exchange has highlighted a growing insistence on clarity from Labour as the election draws closer, raising the stakes for Reeves and the Labour team to articulate a more robust fiscal plan.
On the 5th of July, I didn't think that any government would be so reckless to have £22 billion
You've
of
lifted
unfunded
taxes by
commitments.
£40 billion.
I absolutely recognise that. In our manifesto, we had commitments of £8.5 billion. In addition, as I said, there's a £22 billion black hole which recurs every
Chancellor,
year.
even if you accept the £22 billion black hole, £8 billion of that is because you decided to settle public sector pay disputes. Are you telling me, seriously, that you did not have an inkling before the general election that you might have to find billions of pounds to settle those pay disputes? And why didn't you level with the British public about that?
The previous government set the remit for the pay review bodies, the independent pay review bodies, and astonishingly, and we did not know this, and you did not know this either, they hadn't set an affordability criteria for the pay review bodies. Two of the pay review bodies, on defence and education.
In Warrington, a recent court ruling has drawn attention to a pattern of concerning behaviour that has disrupted the local community and raised questions about public safety. Kevin Myers, a 62-year-old resident, was recently sentenced for a series of vandalism acts that took place earlier this year, specifically in February. Myers, who pleaded guilty to multiple counts of criminal damage, had been targeting high-end vehicles parked in the area, scratching them deliberately with shards of glass. Among his chosen targets were luxury models, including a Jaguar XF and an Audi Q5, both of which sustained noticeable damage in his unprovoked spree. The court handed down a 12-week suspended sentence for Myers, accompanied by an order to compensate the vehicle owners for the damages he caused. However, this latest offence is not an isolated one. It forms part of a series of prior convictions, reflecting a pattern of behaviour that has repeatedly disrupted the lives of his fellow residents. For those in the community, Myers' actions have become emblematic of an ongoing issue with repeat offenders, bringing up concerns about the safety and security of their own properties. His continued offences serve as a sobering reminder of the impacts of unchecked behaviour on neighbourhood peace and cohesion, leaving many to question how such individuals will be held accountable in the future. In other significant news, Prince William has recently announced an intensified personal commitment to the fight against homelessness, a cause he has expressed as being deeply important to him. In a two-part documentary titled Prince William, We Can End Homelessness, the Prince of Wales offers a close look into his vision for addressing the housing crisis and helping individuals affected by homelessness to rebuild their lives. In his new role as the Duke of Cornwall, Prince William unveiled a bold initiative to donate land through the Duchy of Cornwall in Nansleden, where he plans to establish a supported housing project aimed at creating stable homes for those most in need. This move represents more than a symbolic gesture. It marks a major step toward tangible solutions that go beyond awareness and into action. Prince William has underscored the importance of offering a secure and welcoming environment, a foundational element that he believes is crucial for giving people a fresh start and a path out of rough sleeping. The project signifies a broader commitment from the Prince, who has increasingly focused on leveraging his resources and influence to drive social change. By supporting stable housing solutions through the Duchy, Prince William is charting a path for a new approach to tackling homelessness in the United Kingdom, sending a powerful message about the role of empathy, stability, and opportunity in rebuilding lives and strengthening communities. I'd love to hear your insights on the topics we explored in today's video. Whether you agree, disagree, or have a fresh perspective, your voice adds so much value to this community, so please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this discussion helpful or thought-provoking, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to stay informed about the latest in British politics and social issues. Your engagement helps bring important conversations to more people, and together we can build a more informed and connected community. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to dive into another discussion with you in the next video.